Hey everybody, what is going on? My name is Marv Gaming and welcome back to another Asphalt 9 Legends video. Quickly before I start talking about Asphalt, I want to quickly talk about Fortnite Mobile. So I know that they have announced it and I know that there are currently signups you can register for right now on their website to gain a download code, which is really cool. And to be honest, I'm not very interested in the game itself just because it requires iOS 11. I'm still on iOS 9 and I don't think one game justifies me upgrading and losing all of my stuff. By losing all my stuff, I mean all the apps and things like that that don't work with iOS 11. So I'm not saying Fortnite's a bad game. I'm just saying that I don't think it's enough for me to jump to iOS 11. But blah, blah, blah. Basically, it's really cool. I definitely want to talk about why this is such a big deal, maybe in a future video or a live stream or something like that. But at the moment, I have no plans on upgrading to iOS 11 to play Fortnite. Alright, so let's talk about Asphalt 9 Legends. So the title of this video is probably something along the lines of 30% complete, 100% disappointed, and that basically sums it up. So currently in my career mode, I'm around 33ish, 35 maybe % of the way done. Now that doesn't mean I'm going at that fast of a rate. I have completely stopped, or like my progress has completely stopped. Because I can't go on any further, and I'll talk about that later. But I think 30% is a fair enough so that I can talk about my general thoughts. Again, this is the soft launch. Things are going to change. I highly doubt they are going to change, but I just have to disclose that because again, there's a slight possibility that Gameloft could magically turn this game into the best racing game I've ever played in my life. I highly doubt it. But, whatever, they could, all right, they could. So again, these are my general thoughts right now. The soft launch, there's only been one update so far. That update was to fix some stuff and improve performance. As far as I know, nothing drastic has changed yet. So it's been about a week. And again, like I said, I'm about 33-ish % of the way through. And there are some things that I'm starting to notice. So first, I'm going to talk about the game in general, then I'll get more specific. So there's been a 5-year gap so far. Well, it's almost going to be 5 years. Asphalt 8 came out in 2013. 9 is somewhat going to be released in 2018. And it's going to probably be released around the fall time. If I know Gameloft and their previous soft launches, where they soft launched in March and February, they usually release their game probably around September-ish, maybe November, October, around that area, August, whatever. So it's going to be released late 2018, basically is what I'm going to say. At least that's like a good prediction. So yeah, again, it's very early on, but whatever, I'm pretty sure nothing much is going to change. So 5-year gap between 8 and 9, and really I'm disappointed in what has changed because not much has changed. Here are a couple of things that are very noteworthy that have changed. There has been a nitro pulse added. I'm going to call it adrenaline mode because that's way cooler. You can now 360 out of nowhere by double tapping the drift, and then the graphics have changed. Those are the 3 most noteworthy things in terms of gameplay. I know that there are blueprints and there's an energy system. I'm talking about when you're playing the game. So those are the only 2 things that have really changed in 5 years. Or did I say, yeah, few things that have changed during the 5 years. And that's very disappointing. During the golden age of gaming, I will call it, lots of things changed within a couple of months even. So I remember when Asphalt 4 came out. It was really, really cool. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it. Again, this is on my iPod Touch. I really enjoyed playing that game. And then 5 came out. And that's where my mind exploded. Because in that, I believe it was only a year or 2. Everything changed. The graphics were, it's like going from a Game Boy Advance to a high-end computer that's worth like $10,000. That's how much the graphics changed between 4 and 5. It was mind-blowing. Everything ran more smoothly. The controls were way more optimized for touchscreen. It was the most massive upgrade to a game franchise that I've ever seen. Hopefully I will be able to get gameplay of both of those games. I'm trying to revive my old iPod Touch to record those games, but oh my god, it's so hard to record on iOS 6 and bring it to a computer. But anyway, regardless, if I don't have gameplay, you can search up Asphalt 4 and 5 comparison or something along those lines, and you can just see how much of a massive upgrade it was in just a year or two. That kind of continued with Asphalt 5 to Asphalt 6. It wasn't anything, mind-blowing, but, there certainly were massive upgrades. The graphics were even better, the gameplay was even smoother, the controls were even better, the sound design, I think, was massively improved. And there were lots of, awesome things added, like adrenaline mode, a garage that you can view your cars in, and a bunch of different stuff. Basically, from Asphalt 5 to Asphalt 6 was another massive upgrade, and I really like that. However, going from 6 to 7 is a bit of a different story. While I definitely loved 7 and 6 respectively, going from 6 to 7 wasn't like going from 4 to 5. It wasn't the most mind-blowing thing ever. Now, that's not to say I was disappointed, because I absolutely was not. A lot did change, at least compared to what I'm about to talk about with 9. The graphics were massively improved because of the new device capabilities with the new chips and stuff. The game ran at 60 FPS, which was awesome. And there were a ton of more cars, a ton of new tracks, yeah, I think that's about it. I'm not sure. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is it was a massive upgrade, just nothing like it was before. But again, nothing to complain about, basically. Going from 7 to 8 also was a massive upgrade. Like going from not necessarily 4 to 5, but definitely from maybe, let's say, 5 to 6. The graphics were improved, gameplay, a bunch of stuff improved. Now, I was a bit disappointed with the Asphalt 8 over the years. However, when it was released, it was mind-blowing. It was awesome. I loved 8 in 2013. Obviously, the game has evolved, and I don't like it as much as I did. But regardless, it was a massive upgrade, and I wasn't disappointed at the beginning. But yeah. And that was, I believe, a 1-year span, which was pretty amazing for what they could do in 1 year. They got a new engine and everything like that, so they could have new physics and blah, blah, blah. Nerd talk, blah, blah, blah. So it's been around 5 years since Asphalt 8 came out. Now, I understand that they may not have been working on Asphalt 9 for 5 years, but they certainly have been for at least a year and a half. Last year, there was a press meeting or a press release or whatever you want to call it. Gameloft basically showed investors what they're working on, how much money they've made, how much money they've lost. I don't think they lost any money, but they showed off a bunch of games. That's where we knew about Modern Combat Versus, Gangstar New Orleans, Dead Rivals, I believe. And that's where we knew that Asphalt 9 and Asphalt Extreme were going to be a thing. Back then they called it Shockwave, but we knew it was in development. That's the point I'm trying to make. We knew it was in development back then. So, I thought because they were announcing this so early, I knew Asphalt 8 had at least a year or two left, which I was correct in. If they are announcing it at that moment, that means they've been working on it for probably a couple months at least. So I've been expecting the game development cycle for this game to be a couple years at most. So needless to say, I'm extremely disappointed with what the team has done as an upgrade or whatever from Asphalt 8. So like I said with those gameplay changes, that's about it, and I'm really disappointed. I don't feel like this is a new experience. I really don't. I feel like if they just clicked an upgrade button and that's it, and they had to wait for a few blueprints to come in, but that's about it. I really am disappointed with how much has changed physically and kind of under the hood as well. But yeah, that's a massive disappointment for me. It doesn't feel like a new game is what I'm trying to say. If you look up on YouTube and you think it is, it really isn't. Once you start playing it, once you start getting into it, you find yourself repeating the same strategies you did in Asphalt 8 and playing the same way you did in Asphalt 8, which is a very massive part in why I'm so disappointed, because it doesn't feel like you're playing differently. If I play Asphalt 6 and Asphalt 8, those are two extremely different games. I have to play them very differently with a bit of a different mindset going into it. But with going from 8 to 9, you really don't feel like that. It's really not that big of an update, and I'm really, really disappointed by that. And I know Gameloft has the potential to do something like that, and I don't know why they didn't. But, there's not much I can really say other than I'm disappointed in that aspect. So, back to the more specific stuff. Well, I guess I didn't really talk about that before, but whatever. So, like I said, I'm around 33% of the way through the career mode. No, Now, I haven't done too much in multiplayer. I've definitely been playing it, as much as I can, but it's not like I've reached the highest tier or anything like that. I'm in the second to last tier, so I've upgraded to the second tier, and I've been getting, used to multiplayer. It's basically just, mishmash of like people disconnecting and people wiping people out, even though it doesn't register very well because everyone has terrible internet connection because we all need to use VPNs to play. So I'm not really going to comment on multiplayer too much. I think it's actually okay because you get blueprints from playing. But other than that, I can't really comment on it because not only is it very early in the game's life cycle, but everyone has terrible internet connection playing, so it's a mixed bag. I'll say it's a mixed bag. But career mode, on the other hand, is where I really want to focus. So like I said, I'm about 1/3 of the way through. At least that's what the game tells me. And I don't feel like I'm that far in at all because the first around 20% goes by super fast. Then you start getting super slow because you need to try races 4 or 5 times over. Then you gotta wait for your cars to refill. Then you gotta upgrade them. Then you gotta grind to get some tokens to upgrade them again. Then you gotta get blueprints to start them up, only to upgrade them again to try another race 4 to 5 times to win it, and then barely move on to the next race and complete a season. So going from that 20 to 30% was very, very slow, and I didn't really enjoy it. It really felt like here's how I'm gonna describe it. In previous games, when I won a race and it was kind of difficult, I'd be like, yes, awesome, I beat that. Now, I'm just like, God, I hate this game because it takes me so long to win a race, even when it really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. So once I reached 30% is when everything basically stopped. I could get those couple of percents by getting super duper lucky in some races and completing them. But right now, I can't go any further as far as I know. Here's a couple reasons why. So first off, in previous seasons that I couldn't complete all the way, there are a couple races that require specific cars. Now those were in Asphalt 8. They didn't really affect you too much because you could still get enough stars to move on to the next season. But in this game where they have chapters or whatever, it's really hard to get to the next season get to the next chapter, whatever they call it now, because you need those cars to either complete a whole season on its own or get enough flags to complete that chapter or that story, or whatever they call it. And on the other hand, not on the other hand, but in addition to not even having the car, I'm going to go back to that for a quick second. You need to have blueprints to get cars, right? And that's all luck. That really is all luck. So, for example, I need a Chevrolet Camaro to complete the Camaro season. I have a high enough, level to complete the season with my one car that I have that's already a Camaro. But because there is a second Camaro in the game, it requires me to have both Camaros to complete the game, which is the season, whatever, which is stupid. Why should I need that? I really shouldn't need that. As well as in other seasons, you need that same Camaro to advance into getting more flags and stuff. So overall, it's dumb because it's based off luck, getting those cars and stuff. And the other reason is just plain old upgrading, because you need blueprints to upgrade or star up your cars to get even more upgrades. If you can't find blueprints for your highest level car in like a class or whatever for a very long time, you just feel like it's worthless even trying to get blueprints, because that's like the only car you can get blueprints to upgrade. And then you just can't find them in packs and stuff. You end up getting stuff for cars that are completely worthless, or cars that require like 180 million blueprints to unlock, and so you feel like you're not getting anything done by playing so much, waiting for the multiplayer packs to refresh, waiting for the free thing to refresh, watching all the advertisements and stuff, and then you open that. You've spent, a couple minutes playing, and you spent really tough time trying to beat that other guy in multiplayer, and waited 2 hours to unlock that pack. You open it, and it's a D-class car for something it's a D-class car you don't own, yet you're stuck on the B-class season. It just feels dumb. So right now, I'm completely stuck. I need, I think, like 10 or so blueprints to upgrade my B-class car so I can even advance. And even then, I don't think that'll even get me enough points to be able to compete in the race and have a chance to win. So overall, it feels completely, I'm trying to look for a certain word, I can't find it right now, but it feels completely worthless to try. And so that's kind of summing up how far I've gotten so far, or like getting to 33% in the game. So, you know, once you get your garage level up, because there are so many cars that have blueprints, or well, all the cars have blueprints, but because you can get blueprints for so many cars as you level up, it gets even more hard to get blueprints for a specific car, because there are so many to get blueprints for. And you can get duplicates, obviously, so you can upgrade that. So again, it becomes even worse to try and get blueprints for a specific car, and I just hate this blueprint system, is basically what I'm trying to say right now. So yeah, those are my general thoughts on Asphalt 9. One, it really isn't that big of an update to Asphalt 8, or like that big of a step up from Asphalt 8, and I'm massively disappointed so far in how little has changed. And number two, the blueprint system and the gas system, because you can't play more than 6 races with a single car without waiting an hour. Yes, I've reached that point in a B-class car where it takes an hour and 15 minutes to refill a virtual car, right? It's so dumb. In combination of the blueprint system and the gas system, it massively limits your progress in this game and the feeling of satisfaction and fun. You don't have fun playing this game. I know it's soft launch, I know stuff could change, but Gangstar New Orleans hasn't changed. Modern Combat Versus has barely changed. Asphalt Extreme got worse after it launched. I am massively disappointed in this game. I hope you out there, viewer, watching this, have the same opinion as mine, and if you don't, please let me know, because I'm really interested if you are having fun with this game, if you're not, and let me know what you think could improve. Let me know what you were expecting if you're disappointed. What did you think Asphalt 9 was going to be? But again, I'm so disappointed with this game. Gameloft, if you're hearing me, if you're hearing my cries, you're hearing the community's cries, remove that gas system. I've known a lot of people who play the games like, like Flappy Bird, like those type of people who have phones, and they play mobile games, you know, because they're so cool and, you know, whatever, like, how do I explain, the normies, the mainstream, right? You know, I'm seeing those people play games, and I'm recommending certain games to them, like I'm recommending them play Modern Combat Versus, yada yada yada, whatever, and then I see them download games that are very clickbaity, and as soon as they see an energy system, they leave. So Gameloft, you're not even appealing to the mainstream audience here. You're just shooting yourself in the foot right now, Gameloft, by putting an energy system in this game, and a blueprint system too. Wow, okay, so anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.